Hello, this is the third episode of Dal Coro Talk Podcast, and I was thinking about the origin of the style I'm using to make this recording, this podcast, this material that you are listening to. Every day we have to talk to someone about ourselves. We need to do that as a normal activity as a human being, and I normally do that one-to-one with another person, for example. And as you do normally, with this person, you are analyzing facts about your life or his and her life, and you are analyzing yourself at different level. For example, you are analyzing yourself in interacting in the interaction in the world. You are learning something. You are talking about what happened yesterday. What happened inside you because yesterday happened something. What do you think about the feeling and the facts? The narration, the memory. So, as I'm doing now, I'm helping you to decide to follow this course and thing specifically made by a dreamer, musician and singer, a dreamer. And because I'm going to narrate to you aspect of my life, of my thinking, and of my emotion, so that you can do it yourself and learn some technique. And this is the recording of the steps I'm doing to develop a project. So this will be the Dal Coro podcast, Dal Coro Talk podcast series will be the narration, the diary of the development of the Dal Coro band and music project, and what happened here around when I'm living a normal life, when I live a story, I will narrate to you, and this diary you can do yourself with someone you know. Maybe you both can learn by these contents and apply one-to-one a technique that you can use to develop consciousness. Because we need consciousness in this world. In acting, thinking that we may be constituted, we might be constituted by different parts. And in doing that, we start to recognize the existence of some power that we have that has its origin outside the current reality that you think are you exclusively living in. So this is a program for personal development that uses the best theories and the best thinking that was able to collect in many years of understanding this world. As I was narrating the necessity of a diary, and I will do publicly, starting to talk about theories. This diary, as someone told me, have to be divided in 3 parts about what happened yesterday, for example, in your life, at a physical level, so facts, history, story, in the relation with someone, with a friend, with your mother, with your girlfriend, your husband. There is another level, the reaction that you had in consideration of these aspects, the reaction. So we start to observe something that we have aside, that we think we have control on, but we have no control over instinctive reaction, instinctive emotion. And then there is someone that is talking about all about that. It is the mind. And there is the analysis level. So at least we have 2 persons that are interacting in your inner outer world. There is a machine and some specific consciousness that can become larger and detached from the rest, as many philosophies teach. So my mind said we have, as we said, to make a second part about the mind conditioning level. I am sorry for the mistake about the word conditioning. I said all the second episode, the first part of the second episode, I mispronounced, and I said conditionment, as I was translating from the Italian. And maybe it's too much time that I don't follow myself a personal development course, and it was too much time that I was not able to hear this word conditioning. So my mind naturally translated from my mother tongue. Anyway, I think that everyone has understood the contents of the first part of the second episode. This is the second part. The title of the entire episode is The Images of the True Self and Mind Conditioning. So these need to be understood better. So we have to talk about a child. That I think that this is the most important part of yourself. The child, the memory of your child that is inside. That memory never, that memories never die. Is the mind, most pure part of the mind that was pure in origin, that was polluted by many wrong teaching, wrong information, wrong programming, wrong, as I continuing with them say, wrong conditionment, wrong conditioning, by someone that maybe showed you a way of living with facts, actions that can be different. So it showed you a way of living and a philosophy that can be changed. As I was Building on a rush as everything that is related to ideas, I wrote as a slogan of this blog, dalcoro.wordpress.com, a life that can change. So life can change, and this is the diary of a life that should change. My life. In doing what I love to do, that we try with our best efforts to reach my goals and your goals. And to do that, you have to understand how your system, your dominion on, works. You have a machine that is the human body that is linked, attached to consciousness. The antiques, the Greek, the Latins have talked many times about something that you cannot see. They call that soul. Modern New Age exponents talk about, in general, consciousness. Anyway, someone that is listening this type of material for sure has an idea what is consciousness. He or she is starting to have an idea of something that is not properly melted with the body, but can persist forever. It's something that is the best way I can define God. Something that is always, really watching us from the inside and looking at his or her child living in this reality and looking at these entities, this external to him, to her, that is on the other side. It is developing a story of living, a story long an entire life. And in doing that, this point of observation, this external, is confused initially because it's yours, it's your point of observation, but it's external to the body. This entity that is outside you can be defined, as I said, consciousness. There is a body that is the lower part of yourself, and there is a consciousness that can be at many levels, that anyway is the upper side of yourself, the higher level of your energy field. Inside these two limits, two concepts, to divide the entity in different parts, that is only one entity. Because it's not separate, it's attached, totally attached. It's not attached, you die, as Matrix, they say. It's, if the body dies, the mind dies. And the body cannot persist without mind. And in the link activity system between the two fields, there is a parameter field that is named in general among human beings. Is known as emotions in general. So we think about something and we experience emotions inside of us. The best and most deep emotions are linked to the child we were talking about yesterday. And as I said, the key point of this episode, that episode, the second episode, part A, was linked to the concept, to this question: what should you do in setting a goal? What should you do in setting your profession if that child was behind you or beside you? But it's better we increase the emotions this time. Was behind you with his or her small hand on you, in saying, you say your name, Patrizio, what should you do if I were you? I'm here, I'm belonging to you, and it's your decision, it's your choice. But I showed you when I was, you were a kid, what was my dream. So the theory is based on the inclination, the tendency in the activities that you had when you were a kid. If you're doing something else because of the programs that you inherited by your parents and the system in general, if you're doing something else, there was some mistake at an educational level. Well, this is a critic in general, because there is the need of talking about this type of stuff when someone is young, so young that he needs a tutor, an adult one, that can guide him or her in choosing his profession. Probably the most strong people to do that are people that teach because they had to study a lot. Probably it's better taking someone that is an artist to evaluate the dream of an artist. Because I think that, as per me, my experience, the minority part of the population that is involved in performing arts is a minority because there is not enough presence of artists inside schools, so that we can really have a lot of stupid doctors that doctors in general, not medical doctors with a degree and specialization, a PhD, that have studied so much to get so much technical details that they don't need, maybe, if their origin was different. So this is the theory of origin of each one that must be presented by the author of the origin, that is the human being you're talking when he's a kid, and you have to respect what is his or her choice and give him all the information she needs in to reach his or her goal, without saying you cannot do that, you have not the talent, you have not the money, because a state can pay for training and education, should pay, because you get back money from these people, that when they are 20, they are great mind, they can produce 10 times the money, 100 times the money that they can produce if they follow the advices of the system. If you become a well-trained piano player and you start to be oriented in static piano when you are 8, can earn a lot more money if you become a good accountant. This is the example. And when there is passion in doing an activity, it doesn't matter what is the condition and the dotation of when you start. Because with the passion and focus, with desire, you can reach whatever goal is physically possible on this reality. If someone will say you can do something that is unphysical too, but we can stop the philosophy in saying you can do whatever is physically possible with time, energy, effort, training, passion, and desire. Focusing in what you believe is your identity, your core identity, and the activity is your core activity, your core business. So that child is asking you your name, Patrizio, what should you do if you were an artist? This is the mind suggestion in completing the third question I'm making. The first one was in the first episode. If you were, what should you do? Yes, if you were an artist, if your core activity is an artistic one, I should study the field that belongs to my core activity. Just that. You fix a goal that is linked to a desire. The goal must be the highest goal you can think about, because you have to be, we can say, emotionalized by the goal and pursue the goal with the maximum focus and efforts, one time for all. It doesn't matter if you don't reach, as the psychological theory says, many psychologists say it doesn't matter the result at the moment. The result is a consequence. Can arrive immediately, can arrive after 10 years. Maybe this life won't arrive, but you will make a lot of progress that each one of your opponents will see. And it's enough for us. It's enough. In each episode, we will talk about our opponents. The odds. Someone that will say, no, you cannot do that. Because the children that are listening, that are in ourselves, are tired of listening. People that have no consideration of the damage they make when they make opposition to the dream of the core activities of a person. You cannot enter this realm because it's not your business. We are talking about creation of ideas, ownership of the inner realms, and it's our business. Really, it's our business. So the opponents, we can be thankful when they say, yes, your status quo is not enough to become a singer. Yes, your status quo, you are currently a bad musician. You are okay, but you cannot judge what happens tomorrow. You cannot say the mind is not equipped. Your mind, the small mind, the brain, the neurological part you call brain, is not equipped to forecast future if someone is moving from his current situation, if he's acting on something, you can forecast. If I remain in the same position, I don't move, yes, you can forecast my position. But if I'm moving and making choice, you cannot forecast. But anyway, even in case I remain stopped in one point, you cannot forecast my future, because it's not a decision made, life is not a decision made by one person, but is a co-creation. Life is a co-creation between many instances that don't depend only on one person. So as I said, I don't want to go more than 25-30 minutes per episode. This is the completion of the second episode, The Images of the True Self and Mind Conditioning. So stay tuned. There will be for sure a third episode. And sustain Dal Coro Band music project. dalcoro.wordpress.com is the website. facebook.com/Dal Coro is the Facebook page. Like and share this project, a just born project, to make our dream real, so that, as I said, is the slogan of the website, a life can change. Have a good day.